for the soft front tyre and the harder rear. Fabio Quartararo and Jorge Martin alongside him have gone for the Miguel and Jack Miller, who's gone soft front and rear. Joan Zarco starts 7th ahead of Miguel Oliveira and Alex Reed. Harder option, as is Luca Marini in 13th, Juan Mir in 14th. Di Gian Antonio, like Miller, goes Gardner, Franco Morbidelli and Alex Marquez are on the 7th row of the grid, and on the back row we have
Quartararo, 172 points at the Dutch TT. What a great number that is. Great to see the fans back here for the first time since Quartararo was
25 points waiting for him and extending his championship lead still further. The stadium-like feel to this.
Marquez back in 2015, 104,000 very, very shortly, and we are going to be go here in Assen. Great start for pole position for Pecco Bagnaia. Likewise, Fabio sweep on through. Quartararo was second, back to 4th. And what about this from Aleix Espargaro? Stunning start from the man second the championship.
They're already trying to build up a lead. Martin now just behind Aleix Espargaro. Then
he has lost second place back though to Aleix Espargaro. There's Jorge Martin running a tight
sequence of results is going to continue. I think it's already out of the question. He's currently showing 12th.
Leads by nearly 3/4 of a second over Aleix Espargaro, who's had a superb first lap. A stunner from the Spaniard. He was 5th on the grid. He got
to 6th position of his teammate Juan Mir, who's down outside the points at the moment.
So Aleix in this second sector, that's right at the top end of the circuit as he comes now through Steckenval. Bagnaia's advantage has been reduced already down to half a second.
To this point, Bezzecchi looking as if he's got eyes on 4th place and going past Jorge Martin to fastest lap of the race to Aleix Espargaro, who pulls 0.3 of a second back on Pecco Bagnaia. Martin now is behind.
Put his faith and backed Marco Bezzecchi, didn't he? And that faith has not been misplaced at all in the early stages of this Dutch TT. We're right on board with the lap number 3. This is where Alex Rins crashed out of the lead back in 2019, very early on. There was Bezzecchi then. What's the gap between him and Quartararo now? As Miller comes in for his long lap penalty. He recovered from a long lap in Germany last weekend to take a podium. That'll be a big ask now though here.
Miller, as he now gets ready to resume his charge through the field. 10th position for him. Here are the tyre choices on your screen. There were a
then they'll bank it hard left through the Ramshook, still high speed, high lean angle through this 4th gear left-hander, and then now coming into the striking distance now the Aprilia man.
Fastest rider on track though is Marco Bezzecchi in 4th position. The 3 leaders up ahead are all lapping.
Quartararo's gone down. A rare mistake from the world champion, the factory Yamaha, but at turn number 5, high drama indeed here in Assen. Fabio
was on. Quartararo goes for the dive up the inside and contact with Aleix Espargaro.
Underneath Quartararo. Thankfully, Aleix Espargaro did stay on board. I remember back in 2000. I just wonder whether it's perhaps too damaged for him to continue. Quartararo then came over the line in
the pit board that Pecco Bagnaia expected to be seeing, to a gap back to the 72. His long lap penalty quickly enough. He's now been handed a double long lap penalty. He served the first of them, but the 2
just keen to get on with it there because he saw Bagnaia just starting to stretch away. Quartararo had also been getting a message about how quickly foot in the Premier class as a rookie sensation back in 2019, but he'll know that, he'll admit it. That was a big mistake from Quartararo.
Slower than the leader, so Quartararo is going to have to rely on some drama up ahead of him if he's to score points. Only he and
what's been a really tough period, probably one of the toughest periods of his Grand Prix career after his involvement in the top 10.
Aleix Espargaro starting to make some progress then. He's now past Alex Marquez, so he's Aleix Espargaro, but he does still have the opportunity to claw back some points on Fabio Quartararo. Here's how it looked from the rear of Pecco Bagnaia up ahead.
Well,
that's also a disturbance.
Well, what a horrible day it's been at turns for no points for the factory Yamaha team.
As it stands at the moment, we're heading for a podium lockout for Ducati. We have Bagnaia leading from
damage that wasn't self-inflicted, was it, after Quartararo's blunder? He will at the moment be recovering the work to do to then claw his way back into Enea Bastianini, who's circulating in 12th place. Aleix Espargaro currently 2.5 seconds. Now, that was a big one. Wow, that is a very second
opportunity for Pecco Bagnaia. Little did he realise when he crashed out of the German Grand Prix last week ago, as Fabio Quartararo does now enter.
To his crew chief Diego Gabellini. Wonder actually here whether Quartararo will maybe come back into the pits again, but there's going to be no points
further up ahead of him that brings him back into contention, and maybe he can steal a point or two, but it's not looking.
GP He's 1.6 seconds now behind Jorge Martin. You just wonder, flipping his way towards the top 10. That's 12th now for the Aprilia man.
Yeah, looking ahead of him, he's lapping 3/10 quicker.
To ride on board with the Italian because he found a 1:32.654, his best lap of the Grand Prix so far, and that pushes him a second. Fabio Quartararo has gone down again. Well, high drama again. Fabio Quartararo, 22. He's really in pain as well. That was a big one. Was that a high side coming out of the Strubben? It is. It's a second crash in turn 5 for Assen as Fabio Quartararo crashes twice. Yes, twice in the Dutch TT.
He's barely put on our timing screens. He's currently running in 7th position. That's going to drop him now behind Miguel Oliveira. So Nakagami, who's exceeded
Water rivals, they're potentially on course for no points going finishing this Dutch team. Fabio Quartararo a little bit fortunate to walk away from that one, but it's the first blot has done here in Holland. There will be no more Dutch delight for Quartararo after his brilliant dominant win here 1 year ago. Further back then in the...
Not a very long straight, he's on the outside line and Zarco should be able to get on the brakes and hold that one off into turn 1, but Joan Mir further into play. Here he is now at the back of this trio. Aleix Espargaro now will be looking to attack into Ramshoek, and he moves past Zarco, the second man in.
Rain spots on the camera through turn number 12. There are the rain flags then. We've had an incredibly dramatic... We've still got a long way to go here. 9.5 laps. Are we moving towards King? How scary would that be? Now then, this Dutch TT could be turned completely on its head here. Pecco Bagnaia at the start of lap 18. He's already lost places to Binder and to Miller. Binder and Miller, slick tyres.
He's pulled 2/10 back now on Marco Bezzecchi, but we'll track it on this lap because if you're leading moment,
you've got to have some supreme confidence to throw a 300 horsepower MotoGP bike into the 6-gear Hogerheide with chicane and over the start-finish line. The rain flags are being waved. It's advantage Bagnaia by 1.4 seconds. Aleix Espargaro's
pretty good pace out here, and you can see what it's done to that leading pack. Jorge Martin has plummeted down the order as a result of
as well coming into the pits. I don't think it was for a bike swap, and the way his body language was, he was looking pretty frustrated. It looks like the end of his group. He is about 0.8 of a second adrift of Viñales in third, so they've still got the confidence to push hard. Well, it's a dry track, isn't it? The rain hasn't come heavy enough as yet to sort of see them back off to any great extent. Bagnaia then now just stretched out to 1.5 seconds. He took nearly half a second away from Bezzecchi as Miller on the in.
A big points haul against the odds still coming in for Aleix Espargaro.
Yeah, well, having been in the grass and the gravel at turn place, still keeping tabs as he uses Binder and Miller as a reference directly ahead of him. There was Aleix Espargaro.
8th, 9th and 10th, which includes his teammate Alex Rins. It's Mir from Oliveira from Rins, and Enea Bastianini's tough weekend hasn't going to score too many points today either. Fabio Di Gianantonio is in 14th position, and the last point at the moment
quite comfortably by the poleman Pecco Bagnaia. Well, 1:33 flat comes in from the Italian. That's again a
VR46. Is he about to come home here at Assen for a second place finish? And
big control and command of this Grand Prix. It would be a bit harsh for him to lose it. If podium away here late on from the Aprilia man, he's building momentum. Chicane, is Miller going to be close to attack the Spaniard on the brakes into the first corner? No, Viñales really good on the front end of that Aprilia.
So 2 key battles going on: the battle for the final podium position and the battle for 5th, 6th and 7th. Binder, Martin, Aleix Espargaro.
Now this was where Miller was really good through Ramshoek. Viñales, and now Miller with that running in too hot. He looks like he's under, well, he is under big pressure here coming from Binder. Aleix
Espargaro to the South African in that final chicane, but with that moment for Jack Miller, that 1.5 seconds. Bezzecchi is clear of Maverick Viñales. He's got a 1 second advantage in his pocket, and Viñales at the moment looks safe in 3rd position.
Katia going to get some Dutch delight here in Assen after the bitter Sachsenring. Dutch TT winner in 2022 is Pecco Bagnaia on both Binder and Miller to rescue 4th after his collision by Aleix Espargaro, and a first Aprilia podium for Maverick Viñales. Let's go down to a delighted factory Aprilia team manager.
Pace to fight for the win today. It's so sad for all of us. We didn't get to see.
He has the race pace, absolutely. Unfortunately, in the first laps, he was out of the track, but by the way, unbelievable race. So we are happy about.
There's one more Grand Prix in MotoGP than the legendary Italian. Rossi and the Mooney VR46 Ducati team. A top ride that was from Marco Bezzecchi. Pre-race David Aston circuit just goes on, doesn't it? The 27-year-old Spaniard who was second here last year. There are a pocket of Rossi celebrate with the Yellow Army. A great victory for him in what was not an easy race under early pressure. Keeps it all calculating and composed. And Pecco Bagnaia does take a factory Ducati Bosch. Gigi Linia with Simon.
Gigi, please give us your thoughts on that awesome win.
You know, it's epic.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
There's just so many great scenes across the pit lane here.